Today we're tackling a story called Bucketocracy. It's this brilliant, modern fable, really, about how one tiny, insignificant problem can explode into a huge, self-perpetuating system.
So, this is the big question, right? How on earth does a single leaky faucet create an entire economy? I know, it sounds completely ridiculous, but trust me, the path from just one drop of water to this whole economic engine, it's a wild ride. Let's jump in and see where it all begins. Okay, so our story kicks off with probably the most boring problem you can think of. Yep, just a simple leak in a school classroom.
And here's our starting pistol. A kid named Diesel just points out, hey, there's a drip. It's just a small thing, right? A little annoyance, something maintenance could fix in 5 minutes. You'd think, okay, story over. But you'd be wrong.
Then another student, Rev, chimes in with what seems like the most obvious, common-sense fix in the world. Just turn the water off. It's simple. It works. It costs $0. Problem solved, right? Haha, well, not quite. And this is the exact moment where logic just gets packed in a suitcase and sent on a very long vacation. Instead of that easy fix, our story takes its very first and very crucial wrong turn.
Okay, so just look at the difference here. On one side, you've got Rev's super simple solution, and on the other, the official response. The school safety agent says, oh, no, the water cannot be shut off. And get this, they cancel class and commission a research team. A research team! They're not fixing the problem, they're studying it, they're managing it.
So, what does this high-powered research team come up with? Their brilliant idea isn't, to fix the leak, it's to make sure nobody can hear the leak. They actually mandate hearing protection for all the students, claiming the drip is now a long-term safety hazard. It's unbelievable. They're not solving the problem, they're just muffling the sound of it.
And this right here, this is the absolute heart of bureaucracy in action. One ridiculous solution just creates a whole new problem. Now the students can't hear the teacher. So what's the next solution? Is it to take off the earmuffs? Of course not. It's to install a super complicated system of microphones and speakers in every single device. We're just piling complexity on top of complexity.
Meanwhile, the leak? Oh, it's getting worse. And this is where things go from kinda silly to absolutely off the rails. What started as a tiny nuisance is about to become a full-blown, honest-to-goodness industry. And boom, there it is, the big turning point. Someone actually says that fixing the leak is now a bad idea because it might crash the local economy that started to build up around it. Think about that. The incentive has completely flipped. It's no longer about solving the problem, it's about keeping the problem alive.
And just like that, all these new jobs pop up out of nowhere. You've got your bucket dumper to empty the thing. Then you need bucket guards to guard the bucket, a traffic director to manage the chaos, a radio operator for the crazy microphone system, and you better believe it, you need a diversity inspector and a union enforcer to make sure the whole operation is running by the book.
You think it can't get crazier? Oh, it can! The EPA steps in and says the janitor's old rusty bucket is a hazard. The new rule? They have to use pure gold buckets. Pure gold! And because they're so valuable, now you need 2 guards for each one. Then, in the name of equity and inclusion, the genius decision is made to expand the program. Now every single classroom needs its own leak in its own gold bucket system. Wow!
So, at this point, the whole system is just massive. And its main purpose isn't even about the leak anymore. Its #1 goal is just to keep itself going. It's self-preservation.
And this brings us to a really important idea in the story, the shadow job. Think about it. All these new jobs that were created, they don't actually make anything or provide a real service. All they produce is more rules, more paperwork, more bureaucracy. Their only real job is to make sure they keep their job.
And check out the whole world that sprouts up around this one drip. The news starts reporting on the drip drop rate, the DDR, like it's the stock market. Local bars literally set up betting pools on it. The school becomes an international tourist attraction. The students are making bank as tour guides. The leak isn't just a problem anymore. It's the cultural and economic center of the entire town.
So what happens if you're the one person who stands up and says, hey, isn't this all completely insane? Well, the system bites back hard. Teachers who dare to ask why all this money isn't going to, education, they get slapped with labels like conspiracy theorist and fired on the spot. You are not allowed to question the system.
So you have to wonder, how does something like this ever stop? It's pretty clear it can't be fixed from the inside, right? Everyone's too invested. The solution, it had to come from an outsider, someone who just didn't get it.
And here comes our hero, and he is not what you'd expect.
The old janitor gets fired for complaining. They hire a new guy, and here's the kicker. He can't read English. That means the 800-page rulebook, the holy Bible of the bucketocracy, is just a bunch of squiggles to him. It has no power over him.
So because he isn't bogged down by all the crazy rules, he just sees a problem for what it is, a dripping pipe. And what does a janitor do with a dripping pipe? He tightens the fittings. He just fixes it. The bucket brigade is screaming, but he's just doing his job.
And just like that, it's over. The drip-drop rate, the thing the whole economy was built on, the thing people were betting on, it's zero. The problem is just gone. And the solution was that simple the entire time.
So that's it, right? Everybody cheers, all the people with the fake jobs go home, the system collapses. Happy ending? Well, the story has one more absolutely brilliant twist for us.
You're not going to believe this. The union actually holds a vote to start the leaks again just to save their jobs. It comes down to a single tie-breaking vote from our new janitor. Someone asks him if the water should flow again, and he just says no because he thinks they're asking him if he understands English. The entire bureaucratic machine is brought down by one final, perfect misunderstanding.
But here's the real kicker, the most important lesson. The system doesn't just die. It doesn't say, oh well, you got us. No. It just packs up its gold buckets, its giant rule books, and all its useless jobs, and it moves on. It literally forms a caravan looking for the next school, the next tiny leak, the next small problem that it can turn into a brand new empire. And that's where the story leaves us, with this really big question, right? Because yeah, it's a fable, but it points to something very real. When a whole system's survival depends on a problem existing, there's absolutely zero incentive to ever actually solve it. So it really makes you wonder, what other dripping faucets are out there in the world right now?